Damn, son. Where'd you find this?
Fly
Welcome to episode 87 of the Fly Route Podcast. I'm Tony, aka Tua, and I'm here with the guys. Y'all got any AKAs for yourself today?
No AKAs today, just Keys.
Yeah, I didn't think of an AKA either, but I will say this is an exciting time in sports with the NFL and college football season kicked off, NBA about to kick off, MLB playoffs about to kick off. So I'm excited to chop it up with you boys this week.
For sure. Oh, the glove, aka a Coop got the streak going, and I'm gonna ride until it's broke. We gonna see.
Crazy.
It is.
Nah, that shit is wild.
I bet we got a lot for y'all today, breaking down week 5 of the NFL and recapping some of what we saw in week 4. Always remember, we got live episodes every Wednesday at 6:30 Central and 7:30 Eastern. Come through. You can chat directly with us on Facebook and YouTube. We are also live on Twitter as well. We're going to let Keys kick us off with the news.
All right, big dog. So there's been a lot of interesting things going around the league. Awkward enough, former Jaguars starting quarterback, their number one pick, I think, at one time, Blake Bortles, he quietly retired. Another interesting fact is Blake Bortles has 2 playoff wins, more than Lamar Jackson and a couple other people, but Lamar was the notable name out of there. What else is going on around the league? Middle linebacker, Blake Martinez, former Giant, he signed with the Raiders. Giants lose Kenny Galladay. He's not expected to travel this week to London following an MCL sprain. I think we're going to move to the point later on in the season they might just release him and take the cap hit. What else is going on? Commanders designate Brian Robinson to return to practice a month after the shooting, which is crazy. Thankfully, he didn't lose his life, nothing like that. It's super wild that he was able to bounce back
that fast.
Yeah, so that's super amazing to see. Cole Beasley retiring after last season, played 2 games with the Bucks. I don't know if he just retired because he realized he wouldn't play when all these dudes got healthy or really what, but I don't know what the point is at. Colts, Jonathan Taylor was ruled out. He got an ankle injury. They were going to see how it was going to go, but that unfortunately didn't work out for them. What else is going on around the league? Oh, fun fact. Javonte Williams is out for the year, so this ruins my fantasy. And then they also lose Randy Gregory. So, Cliff, I guess, was smart. The Cowboys didn't pay him. They lose him for, I think, 4 games. They're putting him on PUP or IR. So there's that. Another big thing, our co-host Terrence, Twig Street Baby, Big Dog is going his Hall of Fame ceremony at Everett University. Big Dog went crazy there. He was the USA South All-Conference first team as a wideout, VASID All-State first team honors. There's another accolade. I can't fucking say this words. I ain't even gonna try it though. I was in the senior season. Over the course of his career, he racked up 129 receptions for 2,218 yards and 17 touchdowns. He is second all-time in touchdown receptions and receiving yards in program history. Shit's crazy because Big Dog played for a school that ran the fucking ball. Nigga's nasty, bro. Put on for the city. And, I'm proud of him. He's going to have a blast with the family on Saturday and shit.
Facts. Is that it for the news?
Yeah. The Ravens ain't paid Lamar, so that's it.
Lamar paid watch. Did Lamar get paid yet? Honestly, we should just be like, did Lamar get paid yet? Every week.
He said he's not going to talk about it, but I feel like they need to get to the point. I mean, I know he did play great during the Bills game. He didn't at all. But, I would just lock it in. Yeah, I would just lock it in before, he gets to them points where he's playing, real crisp like he was a couple games ago. I would just be like, yo, here's $300 million. Please don't make us have to pay you anymore.
Look. The one thing I do think we need to talk about is we got to spill a little bit of tea.
Oh.
What's up, player?
News. I didn't even cut you off, man. Debo Samuels and Jalen Ramsey be beefing on Twitter. That was new.
Yeah, talk about that.
Hey,
Touchdown.
he acted like he didn't know who Debo Samuels was when he was asking her interview, and then Debo had that insane catch he took to the house for 59 yards. He mossed the dude. It looked like it should have just been a catch where he got the first, and then someone should have tackled him. But he broke at least 3 tackles. George Kittle annihilated someone on a block. I don't know who he blocked and just stood over him and sent him to the ground flying. Jalen Ramsey missed a tackle, and then there was just a little back and forth on Twitter. I mean, the Rams players know who Debo Samuels is. Like, I don't care if he ain't got a ring. Like, you know who that motherfucker is, bro. Let's stop.
That's the only person on offense you need to know who is.
Bro, exactly. And he punished them every time.
Not to mention Jalen whiffed a tackle to stop him from getting to the end zone. He squared up on him, and he
wow.
And he said, I don't know what and Debo was petty as hell because he said, I don't know what he was doing. I saw him just backpedaling over there.
Jalen didn't want that smoke.
Bro, I don't know what it is, but Buddy been looking awful from like the middle of like I would say probably the playoffs until like now. He just ain't been looking that great, like overall. And he's gonna probably more than likely be in the Hall of Fame, like for sure. But he just ain't been looking good. Like you had the game against Mike Evans in the Super Bowl against trio of the Bengals. Like he's been on a roller coaster, I would say. Like he's looked good, but then he's also looked quite awful. Like he hasn't looked in the past, I would say.
All right. Is that the last part of the news?
Oh yeah, for sure. That beef was pretty fun.
Hey, it was look, the way he talked about boy with the big old chain on in the press conference.
They got beef.
Yo, that shit was personal.
Because you got to think it wasn't Debo's fault they lost that game. You know what I mean? In the championship when they would have played like to go to the Super Bowl, it wasn't his fault they lost. Like he balls though.
Yeah, but that's the game, right? You got a guy like Jimmy, like if he makes a mistake, it's gonna cost you a lot because he's not doing the crazy thing that brings you back from the brink. Because that touchdown pass you're talking about was supposed to be a pick, if not a pick six.
Which one?
The one Debo took to the crib.
Yeah,
I don't think it was supposed to be a pick six, but I definitely think someone's supposed to get him like as soon as
he's not supposed to make that play.
Yeah, because he jumped like
dude missed. Yeah, he caught it and kept it moving.
Like that, like you said, it probably could have been a pick, but even if it wasn't a pick, I think someone should have got him down for sure. At least like, bro, what do you count? At least 5 missed tackles.
Yeah, it was not a good look. It was not a good look.
It was bad out there.
It was not a good look. But we do need to spill some tea on the Dolphins and Tua because that happened right after our last episode. So
spill that tea, sis.
So look, we all saw Tua get like rocked, stumble, come back and play, win the game, and then play again like 4 days later, right? And then we also Tua throwing gang signs basically after he got crushed.
Bro.
Yeah.
What? He was. I ain't even like, bro, tell me I'm lying.
You're not lying.
That's all I gotta say. And look, the NFLPA triggered an independent investigation, and they have an independent clause that allowed them to fire that neurological expert that cleared Tua to come back to play in the game against the Bills.
Bengals. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bengals are the one that like.
Yeah.
But so that dude got fired. They're still investigating. The doctor from Concussion, the movie, has urged Tua to never play football again. Yeah, saying that he has basically dealt with something near damn permanent brain injury because of the 2 back-to-back like that. McDaniels saying that Tua was an entirely different person after the concussion when he flew home with them. Like, bro, this shit is not small.
There's no way. I don't know if the NFL always has like a separate doctor evaluate, like, for the concussions. That way they're not liable, because that's really what it sounds like. And it sounds like really sketchy business. Like it's on their end. And I get it, because then like they could like not be liable. But it's just sketchable for it. Like it looks sketchy as the brand. Like I could be wrong. They could be like a sponsored person or the person that's hired by them that is part of the NFL.
Hired by the NFL, not by the team, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right,
so it's supposed to be a buttress to the team being like, but Tua, we kind of need you, my guy. Get back in there. Right? So he makes a recommendation to the team. The team can follow it. So I think it's basically like if he says yes, he can play, the team can still say no. But if he says no, he can't play, the team can't still say yes. And that's their function.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you now.
Yeah. And that's why he got fired, because the NFLPA can fire those people independent of the NFL wanting to or not, based off the way the player agreement with the NFL is set up. And they triggered that, and they decided to fire him because he made, and I quote from an ESPN article, multiple mistakes in his evaluation of Tua in that game.
Yeah, that was just, he shouldn't have been back out there. You saw the game where he was stumbling against us. I was shocked they let him still play. The quick
he's not supposed to be out there. He's not supposed to be out there, man.
The quick turnaround, bro. He's not a big dude either. He's not absorb. And it's not even, I don't even think it's the fact of him being a big dude. It's how his head hits every time, how he's getting dragged down. It's not the hit, the hits are just massive hits. It's how he's landing essentially too. So I don't know. It looks really bad on their organization, horrible. I don't know how as a coach or owner you see him go down like that and you're like, yeah, he's fine. Even if the doctor was I would probably you know what, bro, just we'll take the loss, fuck it. But I think they're thinking we're gonna hopefully get into the playoffs, and every win for them, they're like, we need it.
The fucked up
but
thing
now
is
they lost it for so much longer.
Yeah, it's I think back to a young quarterback that was on the up, and he got put back in the game after a serious injury, RG3, and they risked it, and that was his career. And with this, and he was on. I mean, I was worried. I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan. I was following him coming out of Baylor. I knew he was nice, and they ruined him putting him back in that game, and he was never the same. And now with Tua, this situation with concussion, that's even more serious because now you're messing with his brain and his coordination and his reaction time and everything. You're messing with his livelihood. You're messing with everything at that point, and it's just a really faulty move. And it's just not. I feel like you're not caring about the person. The person. You're focusing on the player.
Ooh, I like how you put that. That's fact.
All right, vibes. That was the only thing I had to add news wise / in the top. We got Cliff. No, Sam with the RPO.
Yep.
Yes,
I got the RPO. So we do hear the RPO each week, run pass option. I'm going to pose a series of questions to the guys, and they're going to tell me whether they're going to run with it or pass on it. So I'm going to start with Cliff. If Cooper Rush keeps winning games, and I'm talking serious winning games, wins every game or loses one, will the Cowboys have to seriously consider at all whether to move him back to the bench when Dak Prescott returns from injury?
I don't think you can. I just don't think you can. You're paying Dak so much money. You can't not the Romo situation was a little different, I feel like, because he was older, late, in his career and had several back injuries, which are major injuries, obviously. It's just dumb. I think they're just not going to rush him back. He's not ready. And if I got to look at who the Cowboys play, this
you got the Rams, and then I want to say you have another NFC East team. I think the Eagles right after the Rams.
Rams, Eagles, Lions, Bears. In my opinion, the Rams offense is bad, bro. The way our defense is playing, getting after quarterbacks, boy, Matthew Stafford better figure something out, or they better figure the run game out or something. Because hey, no prisoners. So, and then the Rams defense is solid, but if Coop can keep us in the game, which I think Dak can do the same thing, then I think that's a winnable game, even with Cooper Rush. And the Eagles, I don't think we win that game with Cooper Rush.
I don't think you win that game with Dak.
I think it's tough either way. I think you really don't win that game with Cooper Rush. But and then I think even with Dak, his first game back after an injury like that, when that's grip on your hand, that's throwing the ball, it's going to be. I don't even know if that's the game to bring him back in. You might want to wait one more week, bring him back against Detroit, and see if they can shoot it out.
Okay, I got two follow-ups. I got two follow-ups for you, and we can run through them real quick. One is from the chat, and it's Eric saying, if Dak struggles when he returns, do they consider putting Cooper Rush in? And my second follow-up is, if he absolutely annihilates the Eagles and gives them their first loss of the season, or one of their first losses of the season, would you consider keeping him in?
Oh, if he goes crazy on the Eagles, you got to consider something. But that's when they're targeting Dak to come back. Like, I think but then you put, I feel like you put Dak in a tough situation too, with your first game back being against another solid team. You came back first time playing with the Bucs week 1. That defense isn't bad. Even though they've shown they can be bad. But hey. I think that Eagles game is going to be tough. I think Coop has got the job done. I can't say anything bad about him. I mean, he's not doing anything crazy. Our defense is doing what they're supposed to do. I think Dak can manage the game. It's really just not about making mistakes and like let your defense play and score. You still have to score points when you need to, though.
Eric says, Dak gone. It's over.
Oh no.
Cooper got y'all in the chokehold. Jerry Jones is like, if Cooper is so good, he creates a quarterback controversy. I think that's a win for the Cowboys.
Hey, you know,
I wish he would just shut the hell up.
If he really feels like that, man. If he really feels like that, I feel like they're gonna do something insane this offseason and try to move Dak. Like, say Cooper puts up like a good win percentage, like towards the end of the season, you guys get into the playoffs, maybe you win one, lose one, or even if you lose, I feel like Jerry is gonna try Dak and then let the highest bidder get him. Like, you know, a team like Seattle they take Dak.
Those
weapons, which is crazy because Cooper has been on the team for 5 years. So, like, how are they just now realizing that they want him?
I feel like, you know, because the bag that, you know, Dak has,
he hasn't looked great. Like, he in those games, like the games he has to start, he plays and we win. Okay, we win games when he's in. 4 games he started, we've won. I get it, but he doesn't look good consistently is probably a reason why he's not considered. I mean, he's enough to be a number 2, but in preseason games, he looked bad. There was times when he looked really bad against backups and like not good, you know, third stringers and stuff. Like, and I know it, and it's preseason, but he's getting those reps and Dak not.
It probably helped that y'all never really had to pay Dak shit before recently. So there was no reason to really feel like moving them or doing anything.
No, it was no press. And then when you paid him, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that man is ready to play, there's no reason. Then if he comes back and he's losing games, then at that point you have a controversy. I don't think you have a controversy until that happens.
They're gonna consider it, because if that man
you can't consider it until that happens, bro.
He go beat the Rams. Jit stand in there, bro. I'm willing to bet.
No, he got to beat the Eagles because the Rams are kind of.
Our schedule is not that good, bro. Like,
it don't matter. You got to think but the Cowboys' offensive line has like a lot of hits. So Donald's gonna go against the rookie at left tackle. You know what I mean? So if he
go ahead.
Well, what were you saying, Cliff?
We also just beat the Giants and the Commanders. Like, what are we?
Yeah. So like, if he beats the Rams, like that's the other thing. People are bringing it up that they like the competition level ain't been crazy, you know.
The Bengals game, we're scoring 20 points, 23 points, 25 points. We're not scoring points. Our defense is winning these games. Like, it's pretty simple.
Trade Dak, use the money to fix the line, but the Cowboys, they gonna stay mid. Eric Mathis said.
I swear I read that as Drake, and I thought he was calling Dak Drake, which I thought was hilarious, but he just put an E at the end.
Bro, that cap penalty probably gonna hurt. They try to get rid of Dak, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, people move around it, but I'm just saying, like, if they find a way to maneuver it, because this motherfucker goes out and stunts, like, and not even stunts, just, you know, gets wins, like that Jimmy G scenario, just gets you wins and the team plays good with them.
He wins games. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If he wins games and what I'm saying is when Dak comes back, you're paying that man all that money. He has to be.
You gotta
in
give
the
him a
game.
try again.
And when he comes
Yeah.
back, and if he loses a few games, then you start considering something. But I don't think it's on that. Jerry just want to stir the pot.
That boy Eric.
That's a
man.
fact. All right, the next one I got is for Keys. All right, later, Mathis. Appreciate you for hating on us weekly.
Yeah.
Later is out.
This one is for Keys. Notice I'm asking y'all about y'all's teams.
Oh shit.
So even after an underwhelming performance against Buffalo and a comeback loss, Lamar Jackson is still currently the favorite to win the MVP about a quarter into the season. Run or pass?
You got to run with it. He's gonna put up insane, ungodly numbers. I think by the time it's all said and done, regardless of if this team even sniffs a playoff win, I think it's going to be the same factor of the past. He can just do so much damage alone that he's going to keep doing that damage by himself. So I would say he's a good bet to go get an MVP because, I mean, if you look at all his weapons he's had throughout his career, they ain't been great other than Mark Andrews. And if you look at other top 5 quarterbacks, for instance, I brought this up in a tweet. Josh Allen got Diggs. They went and got Diggs. Pat Mahomes. He has Travis Kelce. At one point, he had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Who else is up there? Tom Brady has a plethora of weapons. And you think about even before Gronk retired, that was insane. Who else? Justin Herbert. There's 2 weapons, 3 if you count Austin Eckler. Even Jameis got an arsenal of weapons. He's not even considered top 5. So I think the Ravens just keep disrespecting this man. I told Terrence a little theory. I think when the Ravens drafted him, they just drafted him as like a steal. Ozzie knew it was a steal, but I don't think they ever believed in like what he could do. And I think it reflects of how they built the team. I think they essentially built it like, hey, we're going to manage games like we did back in the day and then just hope he doesn't throw them away. And then that's it. But we don't really believe in him. Because if you believe in him, you would go get him a weapon. Like all these other teams, Tua got 2 weapons that are speed demons. Like, that's the same thing Justin Fields is dealing with too. Like right now, he just got Darnell Mooney. And then he got a young tight end that has promise, but you got to wait to see if he gets there. At some point,
throw him the ball at some point too.
Yeah, you got to throw him the ball. The Bears are going to have to build the team up and then go get him a weapon. Like I think Justin Fields could be really nice in this league, but the issue is that team is god awful. So he's never going to be able until they really make some strides to build that, and hopefully they do. You see it with the Eagles. The Eagles did a great job of it.
Yeah, I also think this is just the Ravens, though, man. The Ravens don't spend on wide receiver talent ever.
But the thing is,
ever.
You are right. That's a fact. But when you get a generational talent in Lamar and like easily the best quarterback your franchise has seen, you could unlock his potential fully. Go get him a real number 1 wideout. You know what I mean? And I'm not even saying
they said they won one. They said they won one with Flacco, Torrey Smith, Anquan Bolden.
Because of that defense.
Anquan Bolden's playing nasty that year.
But he was. And so is Torrey.
The thing, though, I think what people forget is that, like, Lamar could – I'm not even saying you had to get him – I would prefer you to give him number 1 wideout. But, like, there were simple dudes you could have got. Like, you could have snagged Marvin Jones Jr., who's playing pretty solid for the Jags. Like, even if you didn't go get that number 1 dude, you could have got him somebody that was efficient to put out there next to him. And y'all didn't even do that, so it's just bogus.
MJJ is actually mad reasonable.
Exactly. That I'm saying that was like you could have got him from the Jags, and that would have been understandable. Like you could have got him, had him, and been like, okay, well, we got him, and then you would have Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews. Like he would have been Marvin Jones would have been the best receiver that Lamar's ever had.
While we talking about receivers and the Ravens, this ain't no big deal, but the Ravens are expected to sign Andy Isabella.
Oh my fucking god!
What? You all want to know Andy Isabella?
My fucking laptop.
Hey, come on! You don't want to know Andy Isabella? What's wrong with Andy?
Come on, man.
Andy get busy. What you mean?
Fuck that. Bro.
The fact that he got away from the Cardinals while D-Hop's out is like.
Hey, they really.
Wow. But that's because Deutsch is really taking off. That youngster they got, Deutsch, he's really taking off, and I think
they really testing my damn patience.
Who else they gonna get?
These niggas, huh?
Ain't nobody else.
Who else they gonna get?
This is a free agent.
I mean, now
Andy Isabella was a free agent. He was
Cole Beasley.
Shit, you
got Cole Beasley?
No, I don't want none of them niggas, bro.
Will Fuller.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I would have took a gamble on Will Fuller over Andy and Isabella.
Why?
Sorry,
Will Fuller doing for you that Devin Duvernay isn't? Well, I'm gonna
That's
just
the-
be dead honest. What is Will
Okay,
Fuller doing for you that
hear me
Devin
out.
Duvernay isn't?
Devin Duvernay is literally like the third or fourth best option on another team, and he's a special teams magician, right? But in our offense, he's like the best receiver. That's a
Rashad
fucking
Bateman nice
problem.
too. Come on.
Bateman's.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
the
just saying,
problem-
but Will Fuller's just a go ball dude. That's what he does. Devin Duvernay's been eating on go balls all year.
No, Devin Duvernay ain't been eating on go balls. You watch the tape. The man been eating on different routes. He's not a go. It's if it was Marquise Brown, I'd be like, all right, you might be kind of on to something. Like Devin Duvernay works all the different route tree, and Rashad Bateman ain't our. I mean, he's our number one receiver, but these niggas is lame. They're gonna do it the same way they did with Marquise Brown. They're gonna, bro. They're pushing these dudes to be number one wideouts that aren't there yet. You know, like they're young dudes. You can't just like they don't have like that Mike Evans talent that came out of college or that Julio Jones talent where you can just elevate them and maybe they're gonna get there. Even those dudes had someone on the other side of them. Julio had Roddy White. Like put someone on the other side of them to help him out. Shit's fucking bogus.
Jefferson has Thielen, Chase has Higgins. Yeah,
bro. Like you got to when they're young, you can't just elevate them to hey, I need you to be this number one wideout because I mean that's the glare. It's a need, but you're like, hey, we need you to do this on top of like you still got growing pains you're still gonna have. Like Rashad Bateman fucking dropped the ball, I think like 3 times last game.
Yeah, it was. That was rough.
Man. Sam, run this shit somewhere else. Man.
All right. We're gonna be over to the NBA for a second with this one. I got this one for Anthony. With the Heat giving Tyler Hero a 4-year, $130 million extension, they've locked themselves into the core of Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero for at least the next 4 years. Is that big three, whatever you want to call it, that core good enough to compete in the East for the next few years?
No. Wait, so I'll run and just say no, but I do think that it's not as bad of a lock as it seems. It's like what, 4 years, 120?
130, but I mean, yeah, some change.
130, yeah, so
What's
like
10
30
mil?
and some change. Look, I think that they gave Tyler the money that like I feel like he is worth to them, but that's gonna be a tradable contract if they really want it to be. The league salary is about to go up with the new TV deal, and it's gonna like go crazy. So I will say what I want people to think about is all the people that we think are getting kind of overpaid, the Tyler Heroes, the Jalen Brunsons, and like halfway through those contracts, the league money is gonna shoot up, and they are gonna look like bargain deals. And
yeah,
I think
that's one thing people don't think about. Like when the deals get signed, the cap just keeps going up, and a lot of these deals look better later.
Like the cap keeps going up, but the cap is gonna make like the cap steadily always goes up, but the cap is going to make a like big jump because of the new TV deal.
Facts.
Right. And so like it always goes up, but it's gonna like every so often there's a year where it makes a huge jump, and everybody that signed right before that is pissed because now they feel like they're underpaid because some dude like and Tyler Hero is gonna look at like who's a good example of this? Tyler Hero is gonna look at the next deal that like Josh Hart gets, and it's gonna be fucking pissed.
Oh yeah, for sure. It'll be like the same thing.
It'll be too close for comfort. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your look on your face?
Hell no, Josh Hart ain't getting close to that fucking deal. I mean,
after the new TV deal, he might.
Like
he might.
If Josh Hart gets like a 4 or 5 100 deal, or even
I could definitely see
you
it.
got to because when we're talking about Tyler Hero, you got to choose someone that's worse than Tyler Hero, but good enough to be a core rotational piece on a team.
I
because
mean,
they play really good defense.
Keldon Johnson just got the bag from the Spurs. He hasn't been better than Tyler Hero. He probably got more.
That's what I'm saying. Those type of players are going to get bigger bags than you simply because the pot is bigger, and you're going to be pissed.
Crazy, bro.
But that's the game.
That's
it pays to stay with the team that drafted you to an extent there too, because they can't really afford to lose you for nothing.
So I think no, this is not good enough. No, I feel like the Heat have stayed basically. The Heat got worse, and other teams got better. That's just a fact. They lost PJ Tucker. Kyle Lowry's another year older, And like,
I don't even think he was gonna get anything much out of PJ Tucker this year, to be honest. I think
Why
last
not?
year, I mean, he's just getting older, bro. It's hard to play defense and
but he
I
still
don't
does
think
it well.
not as well as he used to. He did pretty well last year, but I'm saying like it's declining. Like you can see, like it's declining.
I think so. I think it's going to decline if like you need him to play 35 minutes a game because you don't have another guy in your squad that can do
Yeah,
that.
like if you're that exactly how you said it. If you're telling him, yo, I need you to play like 30 minutes. Now, if you're telling him, hey, for 15, 20 minutes, I need you to go lock somebody up, then I think that's efficient. But if like the Heat weren't asking him to do that, they were asking him like, yo, we need you to go like
But
30
why did
minutes.
they do that? Because they ain't have somebody else that could do it as well as him. So if you lose that and you ain't had nobody to fill it,
They just couldn't afford to
and did
probably
they
pay
lose
that
the
man
Morris
either.
twin too?
Huh? I think they lost on the twin, yeah.
The one that
Yeah.
got knocked out by Jokic and didn't play the whole season.
Yes. So like, and he would have filled that role for them in the absence of Tucker. Or
They got that
him and
Martin
Tucker could have
twin,
split those
though.
minutes. Okay,
They got
facts.
that. I mean, he was on the team last year, but he'll probably just play more.
Yeah,
And
I'm just-
they still got Jimmy. Jimmy's still a lockdown defender.
but he also needs to be the best offensive option on the team too,
Bro, they doing
and
they doing good.
and the best facilitator on the team.
Yeah.
Like
They
he
doing
needs to
Jimmy
be
like
everything.
Lamar. They're doing Jimmy like Lamar. That shit
Yeah,
is
that's
crazy.
facts.
That's a great
Something about
comparison.
the Miami boys.
Dog. God, bro, you can't be like they put so much pressure on Jimmy, and they're just like draining him, bro. Like, get him some help, like not no like slight bum help. Like, go get another start.
You're
Just
saying
do-
Tyler Hero is Devin Duvernay?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
Bam is like a generic Mark Andrews. There you go. It's perfect. This is perfect comparison.
Oh man, that's so rude.
I got one for all three of y'all just to cap it off. And y'all can pass on this if you want to. But after 4 weeks of the NFL, you can confidently say either who you think the best team is in the league or the worst team is in the league. Run or pass.
I'll
You
probably
said
pass
or
on the,
or and.
You
Either
said best-
one. Either
Yeah.
one. You can give me either one.
I got to pass on the best team because I don't know right now.
Yeah.
But I could take a stab at the worst team. I mean,
Is it Indy?
I don't know if I could say it's Indy because
It's Indy.
honestly, it's the Texans or the Commanders for me.
Yeah.
It's Indy.
I think the Steelers are up there for me too. That like their defense is still
When they get
holding on
TJ
a
back,
little
they'll be
bit,
all right. They'll be
but
all right.
my God, they're hard to watch.
It's Indy.
Hey, Kenny might come with the spark. I know he threw 3 picks last season, but
Can he pick six?
He was a spark for the other team.
yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna run with the best. I think the best team right now. I know this is gonna sound controversial, but I'm gonna go the Bills. The Eagles got the best record right now, but the Eagles, I mean, they're playing spectacular. I think they're gonna probably make some noise in the playoffs, but they are benefiting from an easy schedule. Like that is 100% a fact that they have like an easy schedule, so they're benefiting from that. Much like how the Bengals were able to get hot last year because their schedule was slightly easy. So I think the Bills, when you look at it, who the pieces they're missing on the back end, and they're still winning these games. Like they just came back and beat us. They almost came back against the Dolphins. Like literally, the only reason they didn't beat the Dolphins, you could tell them boys the Heat got to them. Like the Florida Heat literally impacted like everything for them. They looked like they were dying on the side. So I think the way Josh Allen's playing, Dev Singletary somehow playing slightly good too. Like they need him to play. I think the sky's the limit because you got to think Tre'Davious White at some point this year is coming back for them. Even if he ain't 100% mixed in with them rookies and Jordan Pollard on the back end, I know they lost Micah for the year, but Von Miller and Greg Russo, like you could tell Von Miller has helped Gregory Russo, the Miami DN that got drafted by the Bills. So, yeah, I think they look scary.
The worst team is the Colts. I'm telling you, the Colts' offensive line used to be a strength,
They
and
look
now
bad.
opposing D lines are just
Hey, them,
throwing them. Like Quentin Nelson is getting thrown around like he played on the Bears last year.
them niggas
Like,
better say sorry to Jonathan or Derrick Henry, bro, for that shit they were saying about Jonathan Taylor. Them niggas better say sorry, bro.
boy,
That's
Jonathan
all
Taylor
like,
can't
hey,
go
them-
nowhere. Jonathan
Hey.
Taylor, his own linemen are blocking him at the line of scrimmage. That's how bad they're getting their ass whipped. Is no good. Their
Hey.
defense was supposed to be good. They basura. It's like nothing about the Colts that was supposed to be a strength ended up actually being a strength for the Colts. Like I'm like it's sad. We got Sam the Coffee Man. The Colts O-line is costing me my fantasy season.
Hey.
You probably drafted Jonathan Taylor
He
like
got me-
number
he
one
got-
overall.
He got me in the
Yeah, I
league.
feel
Yeah.
bad for a lot of people who had the
Yeah.
number one
He
pick in
got
their
he got
league.
me in the, he got me in the league. I think I drafted him second or third.
Right.
Bro,
And
you-
everybody was like, Matt Ryan's going to go off because this is the best offensive line he's had in years. But instead, what we ended up seeing is this offensive line is playing terrible. And he had a better offensive line in Atlanta last year. Like,
Hey.
yo, the Colts are garbage.
Yeah.
I don't,
Matt,
and
Matt
I
Ryan
think,
looks terrible. They might want to just go with a young guy or something like.
They
that
need
shit-
to.
And they don't really have no weapons. Like
it's just
you
Michael
see him
Pittman
there,
and Jonathan Taylor.
that's what and he was there. He had he had Patterson and he had
Y'all hating on Mo Alley
Indeed.
Cox?
Yes.
That's a
With
that's
prejudice.
the only guy he has apparently, but he catches him wide open. Like
Yo, he popped off this week.
motherfucker
They
be
did,
sneaky.
they did get destroyed, or they
Hey,
lost. Not destroyed.
Hey, them motherfuckers owe Derrick Henry the biggest apology. I don't know. You got to deliver a bouquet of flowers, edible arrangement, some type of shit. Because all I know is Derrick Henry, even if his line ain't great, he's still going to choke that bitch for at least 70 yards.
Yeah, and Taylor Lewan is hurt. And Taylor Lewan was like a key part of that line, and he's still going crazy.
This
Hey,
motherfucker
they
Jonathan
played
Taylor
better
run-
once Taylor went out because Taylor wasn't playing hurt and being a liability on the line. And as soon as Taylor went out, Derek started going crazy because there was at least a healthy body in front of him. And he gonna make the rest happen. Like,
That nigga-
bruh,
That
Nigga
motherfucker
Derrick
been
easy.
rushing for like max like 50 yards, yeah. Like,
He at least getting you 50, 70 yards, even with a bad line.
but I'm talking about Jonathan Taylor. Like he been on the low. He been ass outside of week 1. He been ass. First, you talking top 3 pick? Ass.
Hey, does that
Immediate regret.
does that go to show though? Like he might be one of those running backs. Remember, like I'm trying to think. Not Zeke. It was Zeke. Like you're a product of that offensive line, and you're not like say like a Barry Sanders or I'm trying to think of someone else like newer that's like a Najee Harris. Like Najee still makes shit shake.
just his style. Like Najee makes shit shake because Najee also gets the dump off passing downs. That's why Najee makes stuff shake. But the India's giving all them downs to Naheem Hines of all motherfuckers instead of Jonathan Taylor, because Jonathan Taylor is a finesse back. Like if he hits the crease, he can get little
that jump
and then just
get out
boom.
there. Yeah.
It just gets. He's not bruising dudes like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's like, bro, why are you even on me? You need 3 guys right now, right? Nick Chubb, he's like, you need 3 guys to get me down. Stop playing, right? That's not Jonathan Taylor. He gets little through the crease and it just takes off on dudes.
I think it's just people just try to and I'm not saying this like as Jonathan Taylor hate or nothing. I think he's special, but I think it's also as premature how people were saying like he was that fucking dude.
Yeah,
The Jonathan Taylor
what I
point
say
total.
week 1, great.
Ooh,
Solid. Week 2, ass. Even 12 for a top 3 pick is a top 3 running back pick. And then the 3.3. And he got hurt and he's out this week. Man.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold
And
you.
Derrick Henry had 82 yards week 1, 25 week 2, but then 85 week 3 and 114 week 4. He has scored a touchdown in each of the last 3 games.
That nigga had 25 yards.
Week two, yeah. But they played Buffalo week 2. They ain't do nothing, bro. They ain't do nothing, bro. It was 7-41. They ain't do nothing against Buffalo.
I was just saying this nigga get a minimum of 50 to 75 yards. Bitch got 25.
Yeah, no. They got rocked though. They got rocked.
Yeah.
Do we want to take this question
Damn,
into our fantasy segment? Because that's it for the
let's actually move
RPO.
straight into the fantasy segment. and Cliff will run us into the most disappointing, surprising fantasy players of the week and all that jazz. But let's start with Sam the Coffee Man. What would his fantasy trade value be?
You talking about Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor?
Taylor.
Yeah, because he drafted him number 1 overall.
Oh, you might have to hold on that. He ain't gonna get you. He ain't gonna get unless somebody really want him. You might have
And
to
he
hold
hurt
on
right
that.
now.
And he hurt. You probably just gotta hold. You
You gotta wait for him to have a big week, and then
He's
try
like
to flip it.
he's unfortunately like the Christian McCaffrey past 2 years. Like there's not much you can really do with that. Like, but when Christian McCaffrey played, that motherfucker was putting up at least 20. If he playing,
Can't say that.
not right now. Not right now. I'm talking about the past 2 years. Like, but that motherfucker played like what 8 games in 2 seasons. Like,
Mhm.
but you can't really do nothing because he's such a high pick. I don't think unless somebody really wants him. Well, you might be able to steal then.
So I would tell you that you
Might
could,
commit
if
a
he has a
robbery.
good week, you could probably try to sell high on him and try to get another relatively top tier back, like a Melvin Gordon now. Well, I would say a Melvin Gordon if you try to trade him now when he's hurt, someone that's going to get all the carries in a team that runs the ball but isn't a superstar. And you might be able to try to get like a 2-for-1. A Melvin Gordon and wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2.
That's what I'm saying. If you think the people in your league don't pay that much attention, you could probably get something off just like name value. So just going for like players that have less of a big name but are kind of popping off, like Christian Kirk, the James Robinson, like someone like that who's like not a big name, but like maybe they know who Jonathan Taylor is and are like, oh, he was the best player. I want him. But yeah,
if they're dumbasses, you go for the gusto, man.
But you got to go for the
looking at,
gusto. You got to go for the gusto after a big week so they could click his
for
day,
sure.
see the little point total, and dumbasses just run.
Hey, no, he might get a little finesse though. He
You might still like a Joe Mixon and you really might be able to steal like a Joe Mixon and a I don't know who's a slight receiver like
Mike Williams.
Without Mike Williams without Keenan Allen is really good.
But even when he comes back, I mean, Mike
like
gets
a Curtis Samuel,
Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton, yeah,
right there, middle of the pack.
Deontay.
I think you might be able to get like a Mixon and a Sutton type of deal.
Shit,
a guy that's scoring like 10, 12 to 15 a game, a receiver, and a running back that's like a 1. For sure.
Yeah. So, Cliff, who would you have as your most surprising and disappointing fantasy players of the week?
So I had a kind of like a little dub up. I think both the Jags running backs. I know they played the Eagles, but it was a rainy, windy game. You got to be able to run the ball. Like you got to be able to run the ball. James Robinson had 29 yards rushing, and ETN had 32. Like y'all got to be able to run the ball better. James Robinson also screwed me with 2.9 points after going crazy the first 3 weeks. So that's a little personal for me. And then Melvin Gordon, I think was after what's his name goes out, you have 8 carries and a fumble and end up with negative 1.2 fantasy points.
He be talking all that shit too.
Come on, bro. Like,
yo,
come on, bro. You're not even in the positive. Somebody's supposed to get a steal off starting you, and after Buddy got hurt, man. Negative 1.2.
Shout out to Mark Andrews, bum ass.
Bro, him and Kyle Pitts. Don't even get me started.
Time out.
I didn't want to go with the ones that's been consistently.
Yeah.
I don't need none of that. I got Pitts in like a couple leagues. He's been consistently disappointing.
Hey, this is why I gotta say this, because this is why fantasy football blows my mind. Because these niggas don't suck, bro. Mark Andrews just ain't get the ball thrown to him. Like that nigga's really that nigga at tight end, bro. Like this is why I'm always conflicted talking fantasy, because like, all right, they had a bad week. Niggas don't suck. Kyle Pitts, Atlanta just don't give him the ball. They literally just do not throw him the ball.
Hey, put Ryder
Oh,
in,
yeah.
bro. They just need to go ahead and put Ryder in, bro.
Like, I don't. Yeah, they need to.
Right.
They need to get a new coach apparently because he won't throw the ball to the best player on offense.
Well, Patterson out now, so you got.
Like
He-
nobody's
he-
saying
he
you
does
got.
a lot.
Nobody's saying you got to give Kyle Pitts 15 targets, bro.
Yeah, you probably should.
I mean,
So I'm
nobody's-
saying it.
Minimum 10. Minimum 10.
I'm saying
I'm
it.
saying
minimum
he
minimum
needs-
10.
He needs 8 to 10, easy.
No
Easy.
reason.
If
It
he-
doesn't
if
even
he-
make sense. It doesn't
Bro.
even logically make sense not to.
If he's not cooking, I can understand why you give him 8. If he's cooking, that shit, like Ann said, better be 10 to 15. Like, if he's cooking, and he's so versatile, bro, you can put him in the slot. Oh, my.
That's
like,
why it's all about who's throwing on the ball, man. It's all about who's throwing on the ball.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sick of watching Mariota not throw him the ball.
That motherfucker, man. He's a 2. Let the young buck go ahead, man.
You don't got
Yeah.
nothing to lose. In situations like that, like, I don't
He just
understand.
didn't they just win their first game?
Atlanta?
They might have. They got 1 win, I think, because Texas.
Oh,
No,
they
they
2-2. They 2-2.
Yeah, but they won early, didn't they? Did they win
Yeah.
like week 1?
No, they lost to the Saints, but they basically won.
Oh, come back.
The Saints,
behind.
the Saints won in
Oh,
like
yeah.
5 minutes after being terrible for like 60.
They win
Yeah,
games,
that'll
but-
do it.
So Mariota might rock for a little longer.
Yeah, I guess. Where you at with surprising?
Surprised that I'll probably go, and it hurts me because Buddy was on here last week and asked me about Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs came out and went crazy. So that's on me. He came out. Josh Jacobs had 144 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 30 receiving yards. Yeah, I think he had something crazy like 29 plus, maybe 30.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot you some bail. That's on all of us. None of us called Josh Jacobs having his best game of all time. It was literally the best game of his career. I looked it up just to make sure.
Like,
Yeah, that's
he
wild.
wouldn't do that shit after I sold on him, and he went crazy. He must have watched the Cavs last week. But another one, honestly, that I'm gonna throw in there because I also threw shade on him last week was Miles Sanders. So he comes out and has 134, 2 touchdowns, 22 receiving yards. So
You like
another
that.
crazy day.
You definitely like that he stay healthy. I don't know what his problem is, but if he could just stay on the field,
That's always been it.
especially with Jalen Hurts, bro. Ooh, that's kind
Hey,
of
yo, Keith, you remember when you said Jalen Hurts can't get to that MVP Lamar season stats?
I still don't think he can, but shit might be achievable now. I mean, but to be honest, he might get that, and Lamar might shatter that shit too. Like but that realistically
Yeah.
probably go happen.
Ain't no one trying to hear all that.
Yeah, bitch.
They ain't got nothing to do with this conversation we having now.
Lamar gonna shatter his shit, then Jalen gonna follow up, shatter 2019. But I mean, the Eagles, like, sidebar, bro, the Eagles did it perfectly, unlike the Ravens. Like, I mean, granted, the Eagles had those 3 picks from the Wentz trade, so that counts in the play. But they also were like, all right, well, we got the players on defense. Our line is still healthy. Let's go get you a weapon. Like, let's go get you a weapon. Let's get AJ Brown.
They
The
was
Eagles
like
could
they
win.
did everything.
The
Yeah.
NFC and get a top 5 pick this year. You understand that, right? They could win the NFC and get a top 5 pick in
Does
the
that
draft
put
this
pressure?
year.
Does that put pressure on those? The people that are saying like, "Hey, they still should draft a quarterback." Like, if
No,
he
that's
gets
dumb. If he could win you the NFC,
What?
you go get something else.
Another
crazy.
player.
no, but
Yeah, you go
Sam,
get another
wasn't that-
receiver
Sam,
or
wasn't that
another
the
like
thought, though,
lineman.
in the
Because some of your
offseason?
lines are getting bro. They're gonna say
Sam, wasn't that the talk in the offseason, this past offseason? Hey,
if he can't
they should
do it.
use that
Oh
pick.
yeah, but I feel like
Get
he's
a quarterback.
already put all that to bed.
I mean, I hope so. Like, I'm saying, like, if they keep being smart like they have in the past, that pick should easily go. You're gonna lose Lane Johnson. He's getting old. So if you guys even get to the NFC chip, I feel like that might be enough for him to retire.
They got some young offensive linemen, some depth there.
They got guard depth though.
Yeah, but
That tackle shit.
offensive
Yeah,
offensive
you
line
need
wouldn't
to
be good,
tackle
but-
top 5 in the draft is a good place to be.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
And
got-
if it's a quarterback heavy draft, you can move back and get another first for the following year.
Because you can go tackle, you can go corner. Because that wide out there set, tight end they're pretty set.
They went all in this year, bro.
Yeah, running back. If Miles is healthy,
Every
fine.
trade they made, the draft picks they had.
That's-
I
and
hate
they
this.
got
I
Nakobe
hate.
Dean.
I hated to see it. Like they just did it. Watching that shit, I'm just like, these motherfuckers is going all in. The Sauce Gardner Joe just put the sauce on the fucking the topping on that shit for.
Hey, I'm not
I
gonna
was
lie.
just like, bruh, y'all out here stealing.
They can snag a young corner in that draft. Like, granted, it got to be super promised because their corners are old. They're like
Yeah, but
30.
you still got Slay and Bradbury. Like you. I mean,
No, but I'm saying
just
they're-
got Sauce. Oh, I know, but
They're old. So if the corner in the next draft is better than the tackle, I would be tempted. But it's granted, there's two positions where the age is a factor for both positions. So it's just like they don't have a safety on the opposite side of CJ. Like it's just CJ Gardner, who they're gonna have to pay. So if you pay CJ, maybe you can go right tackle. If you're questioning paying CJ or you don't know what other safety you might bring in, then I think you gotta go. Obviously, they're gonna pay CJ because they traded for him. But then
they got Jaquiski Tart. They got Jaquiski Tart and Sauce.
I think they released him. No, they released Anthony Harris. They still have
that was the one that Sauce took his place. They got Tart, Sauce, Bradbury, and Slay.
Sauce.
Sauce played for the Jets.
Yeah,
no?
Sauce played for the Jets.
I mean, CJ.
Oh, okay, yeah, CJ. I mean, with CJ
and CJ and Tart back there, and then Bradbury and Slay. I mean,
but
they're older. Yeah, that's
all
what I'm
of
saying.
them, but CJ is old.
You can go.
Yo,
get
let's
something.
roll into the players of the week.
I like to go different than what the NFL does. I think the NFL gave Trevor Lawrence player of the week and then somebody else. But I went a little different because I related to. Say what?
Trevor Lawrence got that shit with 5 fumbles?
No, Trevor
no.
Lawrence was player of the week 2 weeks ago.
It wasn't Trevor. It was I honestly forgot who it was. It was definitely a Q though.
Cliff had me thinking shit was sweet.
It's always a Q.
Was it Mahomes?
Come on now.
I can't remember who it was, but I went different than what they went because I just tried not to pick what they picked. And I kind of related to fantasy, who's somebody that people probably took early in drafts and ain't really done much. But Austin Eckler had a really good day scoring. He had 60 yards rushing and 50 yards receiving. So he had 100 yards all purpose, but he had 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 1 receiving. So that's
crazy.
That's a hell of a day, hell of a game, and his team got the dub. I try to pick somebody who, their team actually won. But then I decided to give a little honorary jump to Russ because Russ been struggling, but his team lost. But he played well. He had 237, 2 passing touchdowns, 30 on the ground, and 1 rushing. So he looked more like himself this past week. Defensive wise, I'm gonna go different from what they went. But Jack Jones for the Pats, I know they lost, but he had 7 tackles, forced fumble, an interception, and a TD. And that's pretty solid from a corner on a team that was in a situation playing with a backup Q at that point. So he kind of turned up for them for sure. And I'm gonna go with the hometown team for my special teams this week. Brett Maher for the Cowboys. He had 4 field goals, hit a 50 plus, 40 plus, 2 30 pluses, and hit his 1 pat. So, hey, striking from the goal.
Hey, making it happen. All right, so what we got left is the game of the week and the 5 fly picks for this week 5. For the game of the week, high key, looking at this week, it's a week of games. Either bad teams playing bad teams or good teams playing bad teams. But here's what I have. I think the first one is definitely Bengals versus the Ravens. Divisional rivalry. The Bengals are breathing new life as of late. Plus, the Ravens have been excellent all year. Despite being 2-2, they have only trailed 14 seconds this entire season, which is absolutely insane.
Bro, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah. My second honorable mention is just going to be Eagles v. Cardinals. Look, I'm not sure the Cardinals can match the Eagles' firepower, but the Eagles have been consistently exciting to watch as they give teams leads, to snatch the jaws of life from them and just rout them, or let teams come back late in games but not really just get there. The Eagles have just been an exciting watch, besides that one Monday night game they had where they didn't let the other team play game. The recap of last week's 5-5. I'm heating up, y'all. I went 3-1-1 last week. I won on the Cardinals as a favorite, the Chiefs, as well as Dallas. The Ravens, I fucking tied on because the line was 3. Bet Ravens +3. It's a push. So we got my first tie of the season. I got real cocky betting the Rams +1, and then they proceeded to get absolutely dog walked by the 49ers and smoked like a backwood. That's on me. I'm not believing the Rams no more. The total on the season is 8-11-1. So 5-5 for this week. My first game is Bengals versus the Ravens. I got the Ravens -3. The Ravens have played super inspired football this whole year. Their defense is opportunistic, even though they're giving up a ton of yards. Cincinnati has been good against the run, but I feel like it's very different when Lamar Jackson is the one leading the charge. So I like the Ravens to pick up this win against the Bengals, even though they are at home and they have not been very good at home yet this season. Game 2 is Eagles versus the Cardinals. I got the Eagles -5.5. I don't think the Cardinals defense can keep up with Philly's offense. The Cardinals defense is bottom 5 in points per game, bottom 10 in red zone defense, TDs given up, yards per play. You get the drift. The Eagles are top 5 in points, yards per game, third down conversions, touchdowns, etc. I think this could end up being a blowout, but I do think that the Cardinals may be able to put some points on the board, but the Eagles will still win by about a touchdown. The third game I have is the Dolphins versus the Jets. The Fins -3. I'm going for it. Even without Tua, this team is stacked enough that they should get by the Jets. There's big play potential all over the field, and Teddy Two Gloves is definitely accurate and completed this scheme. The Jets give up one of the highest completion percentages in the league, which is definitely something to watch out for when you're playing against the Fins, because we all know those Miami receivers can take those short passes all the way to the house at any moment in time. Next game is Raiders versus the Chiefs. It's a 7-point spread. I almost bet Raiders +7, but I'm actually going Chiefs as the favorite at home. The Chiefs have had the Raiders number for quite some time. They won 5 of their last 6 matchups, and the average margin of victory has been over 20 points in those 6 games.
God damn.
Yes.
Wow.
The Chiefs' average margin of victory this season has been 12 points. So almost every key offensive and defensive stat leans towards KC in this matchup. So I'm taking KC -7. My last game here is the Cowboys versus the Rams. The Rams are at home, and somehow the Cowboys are 5.5-point dogs. So I'm definitely taking the Cowboys here as the underdog. The Rams are 1-3 against the spread this season, and I think that Vegas is still just overrating them a little bit based off their Super Bowl hype. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are 3-1, have been dogs in 3 of their 4 games, and their defense has just been lights out. They're like top 5 in opponent points per game, yards per play, red zone defense. They're number 1 in touchdowns given up. Like, the Rams' offense so far has not shown anything that can match a defense at that level. But we also know strength of schedule, blah, blah, blah. Numbers are going to be a little bit skewed. An interesting spread that I would like y'all's opinion on, that I would never put in my top 5, is the Steelers versus the Bills. The spread is 14 points. Would you take the Bills as a 14-point favorite in this game?
I would never touch a line that big, but I mean, I think they'll probably win by 14 points.
Yeah, I'd agree with Sam for sure.
Bro, if TJ Watt was playing, I would not take the
I would
Bills.
definitely say, yeah, I would definitely
But
say
like TJ Watt and the Steelers lost TJ Watt and Stephon Tuitt because he retired. Like, they just don't look the same without that. Like, if all those dudes were there, I would 100% take the Steelers. Like, I'd be like, yeah, the Steelers are going to easily get that. But the fact that all those dudes are not there and Kenny Pickett's still young and trying to figure it out. I mean, maybe with those weapons on offense, they could take advantage of, the injury riddled like secondary of the Bills, but that secondary is playing good, so good luck.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Kenny Pickett, Keith said he ain't think this man Trubisky was gonna make it to week 5. So I guess you was right. When I try to spy him week 10, you said he ain't making it to week 5. Yo, what's popping, Davey?
Big
How's
dog.
it going? Man,
Davey?
yes, how's it going, my guy? How'd you do in fantasy this week? I know we told you not to start Josh Jacobs. How did that end up for you?
Man, he on a little.
Yeah, I apologized earlier in the show to you.
His picture is like a little BMX bike. That's pretty live.
Yo.
Yeah, I hope he didn't take my advice.
So last thing we got here is the final segment of the show, the heart of the show, Ballers Bouquet. Too often in the media, people only focus on the negative and salacious things athletes do and never give them their credit where credit's due. Here we like to make a change. So this week's Ballers Bouquet goes to Scary Terry of the Washington Commanders. This year, he launched his Terry McLaurin Foundation and kicked off his grand opening with an event for underserved children from the court-appointed Special Advocates of D.C. and the Big Brothers and Big Sisters Association. All the kids that went to this event got a free dinner. There was a DJ, games, a bounce house, tours of the locker room. All the participants were also gifted a brand new pair of shoes. And all the foster parents and big brothers and big sisters in the association, the mentors, received free grocery gift cards. The Terry McLaurin Foundation is brand new, but it's aimed at helping underserved children like them and does things like education assistance, social support, as well as health and wellness assistance. This year, he plans to hold a Thanksgiving turkey drive, as well as a holiday shopping spree for these children. And that's why he gets this week's Ballers Bouquet. So where we at? Okay. Davey didn't even need it. He said he dropped 140. So he was good. He was good regardless. Look at you. I was getting worked this weekend. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I got cooked. I got cooked. Davey said it 3-1, but I got cooked this weekend. Mark Andrews got me cooked. Another league, Darren Waller got me cooked.
Hey, I went 4-0 in my leagues this week.
Bro,
and my Cowboys got a dub. That's 5-0.
Yeah,
Are we still live?
Yes.
Okay. Before we go unlive, we would regret not saying this. Pat Mahomes fucking dog walked the Bucks, bro. And Obuli, your prediction in the 5 fly was absolutely right. That after
them niggas need
the shit with the Colts, they came out. There wasn't a doubt for a second after that fumbled kick. Oh my god,
dog! Jit had Devin White looking stupid, bro. He said, "Watch this." Oh, they need their ass.
That was crazy.
Hey,
my 5 fly went hard this week, man.
Hey, if I was a defensive coordinator for the Bucks, bitch, everybody running, bitch. He flipped that shit.
Suicide.
Cuz looked over and said, "Hey, watch this."
That's when I knew there was no chance left in the game.
Okay.
That 360 to the little flip touchdown.
He did that shit early too. Like they were only up, I think, 2 scores at that point before he did it.
That shit was OP.
They were only up 2 scores.
That shit was OP.
Yeah,
Bro,
man. I did think they were gonna get dog walked. I can't believe it was a 1-point spread too, which is wild. Like the Chiefs are only 1-point favorites. I was like, yo, you better slam this shit.
Hey, you know what I gotta bring up? We didn't bring it up. How awful this man. I don't like doing this to players, bro. But Patrick Queen, bro, he just looking bad, bro. He's just looking bad in coverage. There was a play where they sent a blitz and Josh Allen, I think it was on 4th, they went for it. Marlowe stayed back to kind of make Josh stop. Like essentially he's gonna have to throw it or he's gonna do something. Bro, he threw the ball, I'm pretty sure, right over Patrick Queen's head. And then Patrick Queen couldn't tackle him. The man looks awful, bro. That's another situation where y'all should have got a middle linebacker because he's really one of those linebackers, kind of like Devin White, that play just he just goes after the ball carrier. He plays sideline to sideline. He's really fast. That's the same thing with Devin White. Get that same criticism that he don't look good in coverage. Like that's fine to have a linebacker that don't look good in coverage as long as you pair him with another linebacker that's good in coverage. Like, bitch, oh my god,
Look, he's gonna get going.
Yeah.
Hey,
Davey said he's getting Brees Hall for Jahan Dotson and Brian Robinson. I don't mind that. I don't
like
mind that at all.
trade.
We don't know what's Brian Robinson's gonna look like.
I mean, he was already gonna take Buddy's job.
yeah, he was taking that job
So-
originally.
But I mean, he also got shot and he's recovering from that. So I mean, I hope he's all
Yo,
right.
Imagine getting
it's
shot and they
crazy.
like, you got to be back at work next month, my guy.
Hey, you know what? That's some shit regular people don't think about, bro. Imagine you tear your fucking ACL. Hey, bro, you only get 8 months to get your shit together, and you
They
ain't
getting
gonna
the
bro.
they getting the
someone
best,
can
the,
try
the
to
best treatment in
bull
the
rush
world,
you.
though. They getting the best
Yeah.
treatment for that shit, though.
I just thought about
Yeah,
like
like, tell me you got shot and then like, all right, you got to go get tackled by Aaron Donald less than a month later. Like that's wild.
that's crazy. As fuck.
That's wild. Imagine
It's
someone
crazy.
saying that shit to you. Yeah, you just got shot. They're like, all right, it's time to go get tackled by Aaron Donald. You're like, bro, what?
Bro, you know how people bring up like injuries, like when a player gets injured, that they should just be like back to what they were before they're injured. Like, no, bro, give them dudes some time. Like, I hate that the Bucks rushed Godwin back. I hate that the fucking the Ravens put like all that pressure on Marcus Peters because Marcus Peters doesn't look like himself. Like he's playing good, but like there's those plays where he's getting kind of
He's still a
tortured.
ball
Like,
hawk, but he's not as great.
yeah, he's not hawking the ball like he would have. You know, like that play two or
He's
three.
he not Trayvon Diggs.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, I pull up the fucking statistics.
Hey, time out.
I pull up the
Time
fucking
out.
statistics.
Hey, we
bro.
was just talking about Scary
Yo.
Terry, all respects, but
Hey, bro, Scary Terry got Carson Wentz throwing this nigga the ball. Cut it out.
Hey,
I'm willing to bet if
hey,
Scary
look.
Terry had a competent ass quarterback, he probably does Diggs in pretty good. Not crazy, but I say
we also talking about Diggs playing the ball versus Peters as well.
he's not better than Peters playing the ball. I on my motherfucking mama.
Hey, come on, boys. Come on, boys.
Hey, on my
Hey,
mama.
Come on, boys.
Fuck
Brian
about
Lil
this
J
last-
Fizzle says Brian Robertson is a great stash for Dynasty. I feel like that's true, but the thing about those Dynasty stashes is until you see the guy go crazy,
They don't
it's
pay
all
off.
potential. Yeah, it's
It's-
all potential. Like
it was-
anything could happen.
It's tough. I play in a best ball league, which is like, I don't know if I told you about it, but it pretty much just takes the best players and puts them in your starting lineup, and you don't have to touch your lineup. So at that point, it's really based off who has the best team, and it's not so much weighted on making the right decision on who to start each week.
That's the hardest part of fantasy, though.
I know, but it's also like building your team where it's still like a dynasty where you have to get the right players on your team to be able to win. So, and everybody's going to have their best players in. So it's your best versus my best each week. So that's what kind of makes it interesting as well.
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
Because I know you had those weeks where you'd be like, damn, if I just started, hey, look, if I know somebody this week had, damn, if I just started Josh Jacobs. Like,
Nah, don't worry, bro. Every game I lost this week, I lost because I was trash. You ain't even got to worry about it. You ain't even got to worry about it. Oh, do I have Javonte Williams and Cordell Patterson on the same team in a fantasy league? Good that we have 3 IR spots, but I'm getting fucking cooked. Like, yo,
Hey, I got 3 IR spots.
and I need them. I need them too, and I need them. Okay, so yes, they got 3 IR spots, and I absolutely need them. Like, damn, bro. I still won the week, even though I started both of them because I had Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I played Sam this week.
And I had the
dog.
49ers defense, so I still won that week, but I'm getting cooked.
Sam, it's up this week. We play each other. It's up, big dog.
Yeah, I hope my guys can come back. Keenan Allen, where you been? Kamara.
He older, man. That hamstring is not the same.
Yeah, that shit's like that's like the Julio situation. When that shit going like slightly going, bro, it's a wrap at that age almost.
Yo, chill. He's coming back.
Yeah, chill, bro. I got him in a couple of these. Chill,
Hey.
my man, chill.
You know what we didn't talk about while we're just rambling? I got a list of projected coaches that I think are getting fired.
Ooh, I'm vibing. Like, I mean, what's up?
Here, hold on. Let me fucking get it. There's
While you
Cliff
get it, let's see
Kingsbury.
what this David said. I got so lucky one of my leagues traded Javante for Kamara a few days before he tore his. Oh, the come up. The come up. That person has to be mad pressed.
Sick.
That's a come up.
Yeah.
I think who is it? Let me get this started. Giants coach. I think he's on the Rocks
Absolutely
getting
not.
fired.
You're wrong. He
All
just
right.
got.
Oh no, Brian Dable. Never mind. I thought Judge. That was Judge. Never mind. Brian
Yeah.
Dable's good. My bad.
Yeah, he
You're right,
just
Sam.
got him.
Or you're right, Ant. Chill out. Where's he at? I had a list, but I think Dallas. It's the writings on the wall. Even if y'all do good, I think they're gonna get Sean Payton. I think that's a damn near guarantee. Houston Lovey is definitely out for old Josh McClown's ass after this season. We already know how that whole
That was always gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a substitute coach.
we know how that whole shit is going. I think
Sure.
I think
For
old boy in
sure.
Atlanta, he needs to be out. If he keeps refusing to use Kyle Pitts, I think he has to go. So that's what is that, 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 3. Brandon Stanley for the
Stanley.
Chargers. His ass has got to go, bro. Like
What?
even with the injuries, just his play calling and the talent they have, I think he's cooked bacon. So there's him.
Wow.
Old boy on
That's
Carolina. Old boy on Carolina ass should have been gone this week.
Yeah, Matt Rule.
Yeah, but in
Matt
the
Rule
chat,
definitely said hi.
somebody in the chat said that too.
So there's
Yeah.
5 there.
He'd have been the first one I said for real.
Honestly, bro, that
motherfucker
nigga
gotta
been
go.
trash, bro. How you got
He
C-Mac
gotta
and you
go.
can't win games, bro?
A healthy,
They talk-
like slightly healthy T-Mac too.
They talking about trading him, bro.
Oh,
C-Mac, I mean, what you gonna get for C-Mac? Well, like, let's be honest. What is
hey, hold on.
C-Mac's
Let me run through
finish?
these coaches. real
All right,
quick.
yeah,
I
finish
got
up.
like 2 more in this bitch that gotta go.
Okay.
Ron Rivera, I
They
love
gotta
him.
go.
His ass up out of there too.
Oh,
I
I ain't mad at you for saying that.
And then the next one, I think, oh boy, this might sound iffy. The 2 coaches that took over for the AFC West, I know they just took over, but Josh McDaniels always struggles when he leaves the Patriots. So I feel like if he keeps struggling, like if I'm the Raiders, that's not a good sign. Like even like granted, the Raiders' job is not easy because all the shit they have going on. But if he struggling, I don't think that's a good sign. And then honestly, John Harbaugh's ass is on the fucking seat. So there's 7 people.
Nathaniel Hackett.
Right. Really, he just got.
I think between those 2, I think it's gonna lean more towards the Raiders. I think Nathaniel happened. They might give him more rope. Like they'll be like, all right, let's just see. But I think with Josh McDaniels, it's kind of like, bro, you done this a couple times. Like, bro, what's really going on? And with Harbaugh, it's just I don't get why we fired Wink Martindale for you to bring in somebody that does the same shit as Wink Martindale. And Wink, historically, even before everybody got injured, had a top 5 defense of the past
every single year,
Yeah.
bro.
So,
Wink, the fact that they fire Wink is just so.
bro, to not fire Greg
How do
Roman,
you even justify it?
bro. You don't bring
Yeah,
it
I don't even know how, bro. Because Wink
bro.
was like a top 5 points allowed defense every single season, besides that last year.
And that's the crazy shit. You have the same dude essentially doing the same shit. I mean, they're getting turnovers, but like, I don't know. The defense is it's awkwardly playing good, but it's just I would have preferred to keep Wink and really got rid of Greg Roman, which they didn't do either. But I think John Harbaugh pretty much, if they don't make a playoff push and get 2 wins, I think he gotta go, bro. Like at this point, like he gotta go, and then y'all gotta do something this offseason on top of paying Lamar, which is gonna be great. So that's 7 coaches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Davey said, I hope we fire our D coordinator, Joe Woods. Who's Joe Woods, the D coordinator for?
The Browns. I had to Google it. I didn't know that.
Okay. So, I mean, I didn't. I ain't afraid to
They've
say it.
been banged. The Browns been banged up, though. They've been, like, Miles had the car accident. Javion Clowney's
He's coming
been out.
back. He's coming back this week, though.
I think they had a safety that's been out. Oh, Kilo Kells 6.
Yo, what up, Kels? What up, bro?
What's popping?
My boy from back from
Oh, yeah.
Yo.
Mathis said Dennis Allen for the Saints, too, could be on the hot seat. For sure. Saints been
The
rough.
team is too good to be 1-3. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Bro,
team
wait,
is
hold on.
too
Is
good.
that his fault? Hear me out. Is that his fucking fault or is that Sean Payton's fault before he left?
I mean, the
Why is
offense
that Sean
can't
Payton's
score.
He ain't
Bro,
there no more.
You got Taysom Hill that contract, bro. That shit,
Bro, what? You got
What?
a decent O line. You got Jameis. You got Andy Dalton behind him. You have Alvin Kamara. You have Chris Olave. You have Jarvis Landry. You have Michael
solid
Thomas.
defense.
Bro, what do you like, bro? What do you need? What are you missing? What is the player that's the reason why you think they're not successful yet?
We're missing the full version of Alvin Kamara. That's what's missing.
Okay.
There's some
Right.
offenses. There's some offenses that
Jay
it's
says
so-
DA not getting fired.
there's some offenses where it's super obvious who they rely on. Like it's like, okay, this offense rolls because of this player. Like right now with the Packers, it's like, okay, this offense rolls because of Aaron Jones.
Yes,
In the Saints, it's like, hey, this offense, granted, it thrives off Michael Thomas, but it really rolls because Alvin Kamara can run the ball and go out and catch. So
yeah, he has not been healthy. That is true.
exactly,
And Michael
like,
Thomas is nicked and missing games.
yeah,
Like-
Cleveland, it's Nick Chubb out there getting 100 yards, everything, like everybody's jobs, 100%
It was
easy.
easier, yeah.
Saints
I mean,
also
Dennis
don't
Allen
have
did
a
have-
first round pick, so that's pretty
Yeah.
rough.
What do you say?
Dennis Allen did struggle in I think Oakland. It was Raiders Oakland at the time when he had that job. But
He should be able to be competitive. Like I'm not like that. 1-3? You said, Sam. Like that is a bad start. Like he should be able to.
who
at
is
least
the
get-
OC? Because like you promoted your D coordinator to head coach, and that's a defensive guy.
I
Like
think Sean Payton
Pete
used to call those-
Carmichael. Pete Carmichael.
I don't know who that guy is.
That's not the same as when you guys had Payton, because didn't Payton make the offensive calls?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he might have had an offensive coordinator, but that guy then doesn't call
Wasn't
plays
making
or
any
do all
calls,
that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's not
I
like
think-
where the Bucks did it, but that
offensive
guy was
coordinator
already
was
calling the plays.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, that guy was already calling the plays. So like it wasn't like Bruce Arians was managing. He was managing because he hired good staff. You know what I mean?
Are we gonna speak on Tampa's little downfall they got going on right now?
I mean, just like how we defining downfall.
I mean, everything's going wrong.
They got a lot going on.
They got a lot.
Hey, hold on.
Don't start, Cliff.
I ain't. Hey, that man business off the field ain't got shit to do with me. He got,
Look, I ain't talking about Tom, man.
he got personal problems. Oh, you talking about AB? That
Oh, yo, AB in Dubai. How AB leave Dubai after
That boy-
basically flashing his dick at people in the poke? How did he leave
Wildin'.
Dubai?
hey,
Like,
that boy.
dude, you're supposed to get stoned. It's Dubai, my God. Like, how do you leave Dubai after doing that? What's up?
Hey, that boy Roger Griffin III said he showed more D than he played more D and showed more D than like two teams on Sunday. I was like, oh, shit.
It was the Lions and the Seahawks.
Yes.
Oh my
Up
god.
for Aints.
Hey, Mathis, that's crazy because the
Oh,
one
he
Saints
said
win
Saints.
was against your trash ass Falcons. So get out of the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some issues. Woo.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
tough,
I'm
man.
gonna be honest though. If y'all gonna go back to being the Aints, I would love to get Alvin Kamara and Cam Jordan from you. So
I'll
Who
try
you
to
need
make
is
some
Michael
calls.
Thomas, bro. You've been having the same
We
complaint
talking about
every
receiver.
week, bro. And then when it came up, you was like, I actually don't even want the receiver. Y'all got Juice. I don't
I
want
don't
Juice.
Mike.
Lamar can't use a possession receiver. I can't use Mike. I can't use a lot. What?
I don't
The
think- no.
Ravens get on the phone. How much for Marquez Callaway?
Hey, that's some shit they would do. Or they get
No
Deontay
bullshit.
Harris. Or be like, yo,
Hey,
we-
Hey, can y'all throw in Tyquan Thornton for real? Oh no, what's his
Yeah,
name?
throwing Tyquan.
Tyquan Smith. Tyquan
yeah,
Smith.
they would honestly do
Yo.
some bogus shit. But
Those
no,
are
I'm
like
saying-
two, like 4 or 5 receivers. Y'all be like,
Hey,
hey,
no,
y'all want
I'm
to come here and
saying-
be a 3?
Niggas-
Yo,
Hey, it's not no shade on Mike Thomas. Them niggas need like a Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, a Scary Terry, a DK Metcalf. Like,
The
them
one
niggas
thing they
touch
do
on-
have going for him this season is that Chris Olave looks nice.
fire.
He does.
Bro look crazy nice.
he does. I think that's beneficial for you guys going forward. I mean, even if James ain't the long term answer, You know, when Mike
Yeah.
Thomas is fully like healthy, which at this point it's kind of crazy to still be saying like consistently healthy, but once you're out that long and then you try to get back in the rhythm, I mean, it's obvious because he's older too that, you know, he might get banged up even more just trying to do that. So I think it's nice to know you got a young dude that can perform. So
Yeah, and when Mike's played, he's been a dog. But I mean, I feel like he's just going to miss weeks here and there, probably as his career goes on.
yeah, it's just I think it's the thing though when these dudes get older, they get banged up. Like they get banged up and they miss such a long duration. Like, you know, I think Tampa played it. It's stupid with rushing Godwin back like that quick. You know, like he should, because I think the problem is the way they utilize Godwin is why I wouldn't have rushed him back.
He's so active, bro.
He's
so much.
He's like super. He's like he plays similar to I would say Debo, just not on that level. Like he's not taking passes in the backfield, but like he's getting screen passes. He's banging. Yeah, I think that's a lot to put on some dude. Like I don't know. I think it's just, you know, with medicine and everything, people are like, oh well, these dudes can come back this quick, and I'm not rushing these dudes back like that. You know, like people are having a big issue with Ronnie Stanley. He tore his ankle off the bone damn near. And people are shocked that someone weighing 300 pounds is not back right away. Like, I don't know. David Bakhtiari is barely back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's been back for like a play.
Yeah.
Bro,
like,
I mean, that's a big
ass dudes, bro. To be like, oh yeah, you're gonna be back next year. Like, bro, let's be real. Same thing with Marcus Peters. Like, I don't know. I think it's a struggle. Hey, you gonna let me get Robert Quinn off you guys? And maybe Roquan Smith. I'll take Darnell Mooney too.
You ain't getting nothing, bro. Like, what do you mean? What purpose do we have for trading anybody, bro? We got all our picks going forward, and all we have is money. Like all we have is money.
They should have got at this point. They should have just put in a trade for Amari Cooper. That shit. And people question his motor and shit, but at least you know he's gonna get you 4 or 5 receptions for sure.
Bro be going off. He nice. He definitely nice. But you know, all right, let's wrap this one up then, because we had a good stopping point. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Everybody that rocked with us in the chat. Y'all got live again this week, and we love to see it.
Don't get Anthony started.
I'm ignoring Mathis. He is not getting that one off. He is not getting that. Was staying in the shadow realm where no one else off the line can see it. But you know, we appreciate all y'all rocking. We're gonna see y'all again next week, Wednesday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, every week, and that's it.
The Fly Route Pod. The Fly Route Pod. The Fly Route Pod.